Oh, it's been said a bard's life can often be a hard life, or hill and jail to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary, 'cause comfortable is lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-too-da-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
To anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-too-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie. The world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid. But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made.
Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-too-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee. A fwit-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Adventures waiting further down the road. Let's go! Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Hi. Hi, everybody. Welcome, friends. I'm just cleaning off my glasses here. This is a lame way to intro this. Anyway, I thought it was being funny, and then it's just really lame. But tonight is not going to be lame. Tonight's going to be awesome because we embark on the first part of an epic journey through space in stellar chaos. Oh, I'm so excited. Usually, I am your dungeon mistress with the mostest, Autumn Ingenue, but as you can see tonight, I am an awesome sci-fi computer hacker from a land far, far away, or planet far, far away, or something like that that isn't copywritten. Anyway, before we can do any of that, I think it's time to roll our awesome, super sweet Nat 21 footage. Let's go. All right. So I guess we should jump right into this. I'm going to waste no time in introducing all of our players for the evening. We're going to tell each of our characters, and also I'd love to introduce you to the creator of Stellar Chaos, who will also be our game master for the evening. So let me bring everybody in, and we'll just take our turns going around and just real quickly saying a little bit about our character, so we can embark on this epic adventure together. Hi, everybody.
Well, hello.
Hello.
Howdy, howdy.
All right, let me make you over here. I'm gonna go over there. Hang on. All right, sweet. So I guess we should hear. Let's go around backwards. Let's start with our combat medic.
Hey guys, I am. Oh, let me get my accent. Are we doing the accents already?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Are we ready? All right, everyone. I'll be playing Michelle from the Great British and Netherlands sector. From the colony world of Arnheim, and I am your resident space military combat medic, Michelle.
Sweet.
Hello, I'm Dank. I am a mobile autonomous synthetic executor, or MACE. I'm also the security officer. Worry not, my team will remain safe, focused, and with minimum amounts of foolishness, only to not exceed acceptable levels.
I'm Franklin Mason. Franklin, one of the best presidents ever in the history. And Mason, what a great job. I'm tracker. That's what I do. I'm part of this team. Make sure we find everything the right way. Specifically, the people we're hunting for. If we're hunting for people. I hope we're hunting for people. I like to hunt for people.
Yes. Hello. I go by the name of Logan. I am a member of the NAR. I am citizen, so don't try any funny business. And I am a computer hacker. And the rest of my business is none of yours. So.
And hello, I am Jason Lamy. I am the creator and will be GMing tonight's game. Tonight, our group here, our Intrepid Adventures, are part of a group of search, rescue, and salvage group from a company. They are going to be heading up after, yes, some people, Franklin. So, are we ready to go?
Oh, yes.
Awesome.
I'm not only a human tracker, I'm a human tracker.
I have a feeling this is going to be happening all evening.
Why not? All right, you're spending time in the mess hall, joking and chatting around with the other crew members when the captain's voice comes over the PA system. All hands to the bridge for the immediate mission briefing. Everyone moves to the mess hall, leaves the mess hall, immediately stands up, and makes their way to the bridge. It's been some time since you've had a good mission. And of course, having a mission means earning pay. Upon arriving to the bridge, it's standing room only. The captain looks around the crew. We've got a big one, a crash and burn. Many of the crew look excited, and some speak under their breaths about each other about bonuses. We're going after a ship called the Ursus Polaris, a cargo freighter that went down during landing maneuvers. She's carrying medical and supplemental supplies for a remote colony. So naturally, we're being tasked with as much cargo recovery as we can provide. Similarly, we're to recover any survivors of the crash. We'll be on the ground, so keep watch for indigenous wildlife. There's bound to be scavengers around. Nearby settlement is a Luddite colony, so almost no tech and probably very little help. We'll be arriving in a little more than 2 days, so it's prep time. Make sure your mule has 2 MR-16 rifles and 2 autoguns for protection. The captain continues on, giving assignments to groups of crew. Your group has been tasked with finding survivors and recovering them. After assigning tasks, the captain asks if anybody has any questions.
No
No question?
How many people were in the crew?
8 crew members.
8. Good to know.
And I'm assuming that you want to attempt to bring them back alive.
That is the contract, yes.
Okay, do we want to recover the bodies at all if there are any? Do they want the remains?
If there are remains, then the cleanup crew will take care of them.
Oh, okay. Just live people then. Noted. I don't need
Yes.
half of the stuff I was going to bring. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. And if there are no other questions, then everyone is dismissed. And with that, everyone disperses to start prep work. It's going to be 2 days of travel time to get to Plymouth Rock, which is the name of the world where the ship has crashed. So, you all are busy spending 2 days prepping your mules, which are anti-grav vehicles for hauling cargo and hauling personnel, and prepping whatever other equipment that you might need, including, yes, some of you have weapons.
I have a question.
Yes.
That I didn't want to ask in the actual meeting, because I know it can ruffle feathers. But were there any mace on the crew?
Not that we are aware of.
And would our captain have referred to the mace as people or not?
He would have referred to them as crew members, yes.
Okay.
Yes. In this instance, they most likely would have been crew members and not property. So, as your ship approaches the planet, a few members of the crew, including your group, head up to the bridge to watch. As the planet looms into view, one of the bridge crew announces that sensors have indicated where the crash site is. It's in the northern hemisphere, where it's currently winter. Approach vectors have been calculated, and the ship begins its descent into the atmosphere. Crew members strap themselves into chairs, and others find handholds as the ride grows tough. The pilot calls out as he expertly glides the ship along the path, and the ship rocks and bounces as it decelerates, almost knocking some of the crew to the floor. You feel the familiar weight of gravity building as you get further and further into the atmosphere. Soon, the ship breaks through a thick, dark layer of clouds, and the snow-covered ground is visible below. Forest speeds past, visible through the main viewport, and after a few minutes, forest gives way to a great gash in the ground. Trees and other plant life, uprooted, shredded, and thrown askew, line both sides of this new ravine. Signs of small fires still smolder, and the pilot follows the ravine, and after nearly a mile, you fly over the wreckage. Holes are torn in its hull. Cargo and debris are strewn everywhere. The pilot circles around for a second look, announcing that there's no clear landing anywhere in the immediate vicinity. The navigator replies quickly that he's found a suitable landing spot, but it's nearly a mile away from the crash site, and the settlement's landing pad is out of question, as that's another 5 miles out.
Blech.
Right, the captain says. Mules it is. Everyone head to the cargo bay and prep for egress. While the crew ready themselves in the cargo bay, the ship comes to a landing. So, you all are assigned to one of the 2 mules.
Do we fit on the mule as well? Like we ride on it as well as
It has an open air cabin that's large enough for 8 persons.
right.
Cool.
So you have more than enough room for all of you to fit inside it.
And all this cool gear.
Yep.
All right, load it up.
If you'd like to take inventory of what's in the mule, I will let you know that in the rear of the cabin, you have a multi-purpose storage box for the house that houses a number of tools, a first aid kit, small survival kit. The tools include a couple of cutting torches, a self-contained arc welder, an array of hammers and sledges, several powered saws with blades for hard and soft materials, 4 flashlights, a variety of other tools such as screwdrivers, wrenches, etc., and several rolls of high-strength tape. 50 feet of all-weather high tensile strength rope, and of course, the 2 rifles and the 2 auto guns with 2 magazines each in the back. There you go.
I will sequester away small screwdrivers and tape. They're never here. Never exist.
Okay.
While this one is ever so lovely and pillaging, I think I'm going to definitely take the MR16.
All right.
And obviously
already-
the first aid kit and survival kit.
Since I already have my own auto gun and rifle, I will just pack on extra ammo if I can.
All right. Well, there's 2 magazines for each of the weapons within the mule. So any magazines that you take, you are taking away from the weapons that are in there.
Oh,
Oh, so there's no like extra storage. Like it's
okay.
just
Well, whoever's
It's whatever's
handling
packed in
those
there, yeah.
guns can have that the magazine then. Oh, and I thought of a question that I forgot to ask when we were in the meeting and had any questions.
All right.
Was there any kind of like with the distress signal? Was there any kind of indication of what caused the crash?
Yes, it was an engine malfunction during landing maneuvers.
Okay,
How
so
does
they were-
engine malfunction? Who's fixing engine? Listen, I'm getting upset. Continue.
So how much time has actually passed since they were like, hey, we're going down to now? So it's been
About 3 days.
3 days total. Okay. In my tracking mind, I put like how far people could walk, ride, try to kind of like do some math as we, if I saw any of the terrain as we came in from the sky, kind of went, yeah, they could have made it to that ridge or whatever, just try to do some math.
Well, doing your math, you have come to the conclusion that the nearby town is not out of reach. It's only about 5 miles. That would be a hell of a trek on foot after a crash, but it's not out of reach. The rest of the terrain that you saw was mostly heavily forested, so it's hard to see what the ground looks like from above the forest.
All right.
Let's get
All
to the
right.
crash.
All right, so you guys load up on your mule and you head out of the ship and make your way through relatively tight close proximity trees. So your travel is rather slow, but you make it about the mile to where the crash site is. The trip to the crash site from the landing side of the Nautilus is slow going but steady, and eventually, though, you make it. The hulk of the Ursus Polaris rises up ahead of you. Great gouges in the hull are visible all along its length. Debris and cargo are scattered around, and there is evidence of some small fires. However, due to recent weather, the area is very wet, so the fire didn't spread far. Behind the crashed ship lies nearly a mile-long ravine, approximately 300 feet wide and 35 feet deep at its deepest point. It looks as if the ship tumbled and rolled during its crash.
Hope
So-
they were wearing their seatbelts.
Oh. I have a quick question too.
Absolutely.
Only because it's space in the future and I don't trust it. So obviously military. Can she tell if any of these, I forgot how to phrase this, if some of these like holes don't look like they come from like being crashed, or if it comes from maybe, I don't know, something shooting it because she's paranoid?
Well, from your vantage point, everything seems to be consistent with crash damage.
Okay.
Is anything a sign left behind by survivors indicating what they may have done next?
You have not seen any yet.
I would like to get as close as possible. There's got to be black box or some kind of, oh no, here's a recording of everything that went wrong. Oopsie poopsie. And so I would like to recover this if possible.
All right. 1 second. All right. So you drive your mule around to the other side of the wreckage and notice that there is a very, very large hole in the side of the hull, large enough that you can see into its cargo bay. There is all kinds of debris scattered around. And it looks like approximately half the cargo might be salvageable, not destroyed.
Is there anything suspicious about the cargo, or is it pretty much
No.
what it was supposed to be?
Yeah, it's all medical supplies, supplemental supplies to help out with the colony. So nothing out of the ordinary.
Were they supposed to land on this planet, or were they going to a different planet?
No, they were supposed to land on this planet.
Okay.
They were heading for the colony's landing pad, the nearby settlement's landing pad when they had engine issues.
So close. So
close.
All those miles.
All right. As you come around the far side, you notice the huge hole in the ground in the side of the ship where the cargo bay is. You notice that there seems to be potentially bodies on the ground. So as you disembark from the mule, you start to look around. You do find 3 bodies lying on the ground.
All right. Well, Michelle's gonna make her way on over and start checking vitals just in case maybe they're just, not quite dead yet.
Well, one of them is wrapped up in a tarp. And when you unwrap it, you discover that the body is severely burned and shows signs of trauma, most likely from the crash.
But it's wrapped in a tarp.
Wrapped in a tarp, yes.
Only one?
Only one of them. Without an autopsy, though, it's going to be hard to identify who the crew member was. The other 2 are at a nearby makeshift camp. Both bodies show signs of being ravaged by local animals. Some of the limbs are missing, and much of the flesh has been consumed. One body is still partially under blankets. Torn clothing can be identified as flight suits. And the names on them match those of the navigator and pilot of the ship.
Whoops. I would like to just do a sweep around of all tracks, coming, going, human and non-human. I'll just, however long that takes, I'll be tracking around.
There is a lot of tracks from local wildlife in the area. Not being familiar with all the local wildlife, it's hard to tell what kind of creatures they might be. But there's definitely been a lot of forest traffic through there. There you do find sets of footprints that are wandering away from the crash site into the woods. Give me a perception roll. That would be percentile, adding your active perception to it.
Well, I rolled a 99.
Well, okay then. While you are searching around, you find a series of broken logs that have been rearranged into the shape of an arrow.
Which way is it going?
It's pointing down a section of the woods that is a little bit clearer than others, so it almost looks like a natural path.
Why would they not go toward town?
Well,
Perhaps they were lost.
Could have been injured.
Well,
Also, I would
let
like to
me-
note that I am actively keeping myself focused so we don't get got by something or someone.
All right.
Creepy.
Let me give you a look into the map.
And we're the only team here, right?
You are the only team there. Yes.
All right. So half of it can be salvaged. So we're calling a different crew to come and salvage that, but we need to find the peeps.
Yes.
Right. And meanwhile, the piece of the wall that is open because boom boom, I am just very obviously yanking like cables out of it and sticking into pockets. That's copper wire. That's good. That one, oh, that's a nice red wire. I keep it. Go on. Keep going.
All right. All right. So you're packing the wiring.
Of course,
so I wanted to.
couldn't need.
So I'm going to share with you all the map. This is the overall area. This is where you all are. Right here is the wreckage. This is where you landed. And this little bit right here is the path that the arrow is pointing down.
Hmm.
And when you flew over, this tan line was a road of sorts. Not really paved, but definitely a well-traveled path.
Okay. So they are probably attempting to head to the town.
Most likely.
Well,
So, Logan, while
Yes.
you are absconding with Cable,
Of course.
you notice that there is at least one other body within the cargo bay.
Okay.
Through the tear in the hull ripped in one of the cargo bay doors off, you enter through the cargo bay. It's dark and cluttered with cargo strewn about, torn free from their restraints. Still locked in place, however, are 4 Ultra Mules, which are larger versions, tracked versions of the mules that you're driving, that are used to move cargo around. All but one of the doors out of the cargo bay are impassable, either blocked by cargo and debris or mangled beyond function.
Oh.
You give a little search around and you see definitely the remains of one body partially crushed under the weight of the debris.
Oh.
And
Is any captain's log or personal log or any kind of black box visible, or can I go searching for it?
You'd have to try to
Also-
make your way to the cockpit, but yes.
All right, I will call people. Hey, people! There are more mules in here, and also a dead guy. Ugh.
Just
one
how
dead guy?
dead? Wait, he's crushed. Okay.
Yeah.
well, our job's halfway done now, isn't it?
Well,
Your reverence
said only
for
brings
human
back the
life
living.
never ceases to amaze me.
Job's going to be easier than I thought.
All right.
But perhaps we should check on the path at some point.
All right. Well, which would you prefer to do? Try to examine the ship more, or go see it down the path?
I don't want to leave the ship yet.
Oh, I mean, after we're done, apparently tromping through it.
All right.
Did we find any kind of record left behind?
Not so
I-
far, but you haven't been inside the ship yet.
We must look probably up where a captain make bad decisions and the ship go boom.
All right, I'm
tell you
heading into the ship. Flashlight, shining it around, looking, being security.
Well,
Michelle's gonna come right behind with a gun.
all right.
I always have my gun.
So I was gonna actually like get the other bodies and like kind of bring them over to the ship, so at least they're lined up in some sort of easy to get away, easy to pack.
I will help you while they go do scary inspection.
All right, there you go.
All right. Well, it takes some doing. to get through the cargo bay with all the cargo strewn all over the place. However, you eventually do find an open passageway that you can make your way in. And as you make your way down the dark passageway from the cargo bay, you carefully scramble over and around debris. Unfortunately, or ultimately rather, you find yourself in the mess hall. Holes in the ceiling allow sunlight to spill through the room, slightly lighting the gloom. Dishes, food, and furniture are thrown all about. And in the corner, you can make out the shape of a person.
Oh.
And there
Well, that's
were only
unfortunate.
8 people on this ship, right?
There were 8 people on the ship, yes.
Okay. And is there, like, how can we tell how this person died here in the mess hall?
It looks as if it might be crash-related trauma. He was not wearing a seatbelt.
Lovely.
Mom always said, wear your seatbelt.
Yep.
Can I roll to look harder?
I mean, sure.
I have
give me an active
improved
perception.
cognizance. Whatever that means. I know what that means.
All right.
Okay.
Give me a roll.
I got a 78.
Ooh, good roll.
Yeah.
All right, you can definitely tell that this person had suffered from major crash-related trauma, a lot of internal damage, hemorrhaging, and such from the crash, and most likely was dead before the ship stopped rolling.
Now, why is it that the survivors would put one body rolled up in a tarp, but leave this one here? Just ignoring it.
Maybe they didn't find it.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on toward the bridge.
All right. Accessing the ship through another hole in the hull, you find yourself in a passageway that leads into the cockpit. After picking your way through debris and around hanging cables, you enter into the cockpit, and most of the viewport glass is shattered and missing. Most of the consoles are dark and dead. However, an emergency distress beacon is active and transmitting. There is evidence of a fire that occurred, but it is not clear if the fire was before the crash or from the crash. Now, if you were looking for the black box, this would be the place to find it.
Yeah. That is definitely what we're looking for.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, it's not hard to find. It's within one of the consoles in a standard location. So you were able to find it and recover it. It will have to be taken back to your ship to be hooked up to the ship's computers to do any kind of interpretation of the data that's on it to find out what happened.
Or we can't just plug it into me somehow.
Yeah, pretty sure.
I was like,
Oh my god,
does Jake-
she's a Teletubby.
Sadly, no. She is a walking surge protector. Plug everything in.
I appreciate this humor.
All right,
I-
let's grab the black box.
I taught her that joke.
Time. And find the other. I wasn't ready for that comment.
All right. So where are you guys headed to?
Back to them.
All right. So you make your way pretty much without too much issue. Excuse me. And you're back outside, and the 4 of you are gathered around your mule.
All right, so we got 3 bodies out here. There's 2 more inside. Were they just like buried under stuff? We couldn't really get them.
One was. The other one was just kind of in a crumpled mess in a corner in the canteen.
Is it possible to get any of those other mules through the one door that's not destroyed?
It is not possible yet without moving the cargo out of the way.
How long would that take?
That would take quite a number of hours to do.
Ah.
That's what the other team is going to be working on.
Yeah, all right.
What
Oh, okay.
could we use from those mules that we could carry with ourselves and our one mule?
Unfortunately, whatever equipment that was within those mules was lost from the mules as the ship tumbled. So whatever equipment was in there is scattered along with all the cargo in the cargo bay.
What about looting pockets of bodies?
I mean,
Which I did
Feel
not
free.
do, but if I did, what would I have? Just like 2 separate pockets when Franklin was not looking.
Wait a minute.
Was I looking?
You were,
We-
you were
Sadly,
inside
Dank, we were inside the ship investigating.
okay.
So we were not beholding the thievery.
Yes.
I don't have a lot of scruples, but I mean, that's kind of beyond. I mean, nobody is going to be
Franklin.
carrying around a diamond or nothing.
Franklin,
unless they are.
If I die, please go through my pockets. You have my permission.
While Michelle and I were still on the ship, we were discussing what upstanding crew it is that we have become a part of here.
See, isn't it great to, socialize with those that once in the military at all?
Yes, I trust them inherently.
Being facetious.
What?
Never mind. Let's hurry up and find them so we can report the other 2. What does that bring us to? 5?
that's 5.
Mm.
Well, at least we know that the rest of the survivals will fit in the mule.
Franklin, did you find anything interesting around the crash site?
I mean, it's just a lot of weird tracks. So, I mean, I don't want to say. It's hard to tell. There's some big ones, some little ones. I think they've got something that's like a possum here on this planet, but I'm not really too sure. It's probably delicious though.
I meant left by humans.
Oh. Right, did I find anything else?
Well, you found the big arrow.
Yes.
Mm.
It points down this little track, which pretty sure leads to that road that we saw when we were flying in.
Well, in that time, then, if the other crew is going to be dealing with the cargo and probably the other 2 bodies, perhaps we should head towards this path because that's only 5 and we haven't seen any more bodies, correct? Unless there's something I'm missing.
No, that counts
No.
correct by my book.
All right. So I suggest that perhaps I take point with Dank pulling up the rear as we make our way down this path.
All right. Are you walking it or are you taking the mule?
I was taking
Oh,
the
yeah.
mule.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
I
take
was
it
gonna
easy.
be roughneck. So I'm Starship Troopering it, my guy.
I mean, if you want to walk it, you can walk it. That's fine.
No, we'll take the mule. I was being silly. Rambo.
Leave more room for the poor victims they're probably very tired. So I'm sure they want to lay down. And there's only seats for 8, and they're gonna take up 2 seats. If one person lays down, that's 6.
Well,
seats.
good news. Good news. There's only 3 possibilities left. So we have plenty of space.
Well, you know.
I'll be scanning the trees and behind and on the sides of us as we drive.
And I
All right.
will legit keep a lookout and all that fun stuff.
And I'm
All
gonna
right.
mull over the slash marks of the 2 that were killed by roving animals, and just kind of try to, in my head, as a tracker, I'm just gonna I saw the tracks, I saw the slash marks. I'm gonna make some those would easily be how big of a claw, how big of a creature are we talking? That I can assume it's bigger than a bread box, smaller than a mountain lion.
I would say probably there's a good chance that at least one of them was killed by something maybe mountain lion sized.
Okay.
And I will be riding in back chewing this chewing gum that I absolutely brought myself.
You know it's bad luck to chew
Didn't-
dead people's gum.
Yeah, I was gonna say you didn't find that on somebody.
Sounds like-
No, it was out of my pocket.
All right.
That's my pocket.
Okay, so you all climb back into the mule, and you start heading down the wooded path. Now the trees are a little bit tight. The mule fits, but you got to go slow and take it careful. And as you're driving down the road, it starts to get dark, and snow starts to fall.
Oh, yeah, we're in the northern hemisphere.
Yep.
Just how
You
short
make-
are these days?
They're comparable to Earth, so 20 some odd hours. So you make your way through the wooded path, and aside from some narrow points that required some finesse in navigating, you have no trouble reaching the road. But by the time you reach the road, you notice that the sky has grown dark and the odd flake of snow drops down. You turn north towards New Plymouth, which is the name of the settlement, not the planet. My bad there. The road is just a bit wider than the mule, with trees lining both sides, but with flat terrain, so you can travel a bit more quickly. But after a couple of miles, you're forced to come to a halt. Several trees have fallen across the road, and the snowfall is becoming steady. It's accumulating on the ground.
Is that going to be bad for our mule, or?
Well, they're a little too tall for the mule to get over.
Nah. All right.
Mhm.
Well, Michelle, I guess you were right.
I will never tell you I told you so.
She will tell you that all the time.
No, I won't.
I've heard you say that many, 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 many times.
Okay, I'm not that old. Goodness. All right.
I guess we're walking.
Give me an intelligence roll, which is a percentile.
From who?
Who?
Anybody.
I'll do it. Maybe. Nope, somebody else did it.
I got a good one.
Look, let's
What'd you
take
get?
yours.
82.
82. Good.
I
You
like
remember the-
percentile. I roll high on these.
You remember that you have power saws in the back of the mule.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's right.
I would like to blame the fact that was quite a list, and I have ADHD, so I probably forgot half of it already.
I'm gonna blame my printer for not printing out my character sheet where I would normally make notes, and I'm just looking at it on a tablet. That's what happened.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab one and just start sawing.
All right.
Yeah.
I am actually going to check, and Magnus makes a good question there. Have these
Oh.
trees fallen
Magnus.
naturally? Are there tracks around it before the snow gets too thick? You know, did somebody knock these trees down?
No, the trees look like they naturally fell over.
Hmm.
There's no artificial cuts in them or anything like that.
There are now.
All right.
I'm going to be doing what's known in these parts as Passenger Princess, where I encourage everyone from up here while I cradle Black Box from ship.
All righty.
I'm gonna be playing Overwatch and be Overwatch.
All right.
I'm sawing away. It's just me and you, Dank.
All right. So the two of you work at it. It takes you about half an hour or so to get through the trees. And you finally clear enough room out that you can get the mule past the trees. By this point, it's really starting to get dark and the snow is really starting to come down.
everyone, even though that we cut this, we might want to do what's called take shelter.
How
Oh,
far away are we from the village?
Yeah.
You're about a mile and a half.
we could drive another mile.
Oh yeah, we got this.
Yeah, we're gonna. Oh, it's only a mile. Okay, then never mind. Just kidding.
Do mace? Okay, when you pluralize mace, is it just mace? It's not maces. Is it meese?
No, it's just mace.
Oh,
Mace. Okay.
Masai.
Mason. Moxon. No. Do mace?
Maces.
Do mace feel cold?
No.
No. Great.
Yep.
For you.
Mace are pretty impervious to the sensations of pain, cold, heat. You know, the things that normally trouble organic creatures.
I have no body odor.
What? Now everybody's got some kind of body odor, and I'm going over there.
Oh, Franklin.
If
Dank does
Franklin,
have a body odor. I believe it is some type of lubrication.
if there is a smell, it is my lube.
You smell like WD-40.
Mhm.
I mean, that's a good lube.
That's my external lubrication. I use something much more specialized for my internal lubrication.
Good to know.
Mace, can we please stop talking about your lubrication?
I don't know why all of the humans laugh so much when I talk about my lubrication. You talk about food and things all the time with no one laughing, but when I talk about my lubrication, everyone giggles.
We're gonna have to have another sit down once again about vernacular.
I'm sorry.
I believe you. Anyway,
Anyway,
where were we?
We're talking about lube.
Cutting the trees, getting our way downtown.
We're about to be in the town.
The megapolis of New Plymouth.
Plymouth.
It's a megapolis, right?
It's a podunk town.
I try to time my the megapolis of New Plymouth as we round the corner to the the town square.
Gotcha.
The one horse town, as one would call.
Yeah, pretty much. But as you drive down the road and you make your way there, it takes about 15 minutes of careful driving, but you get there. The road gives way to the center of town. But as you enter town, the headlights that you're now using shine across a large object on the ground in front of you. It appears to be a body.
Is it wearing the same kind of flight suit as the rest of the crew?
It's kind of hard to tell. There's snow covering it.
Well, let's get it out.
All right. You climb out of the
investigating the body.
Yep. You climb out of the mule. You wander over to the body and uncover it. It is not wearing a flight suit. It looks like it might be local clothing.
Uh-oh. What happened? Is there blood? Is it like...
Well,
I
as you
guess I
examine
should
it,
ask Michelle to come in. Michelle,
Yeah.
would you like to examine this body?
Oh, certainly. And she slings her gun over and she's looking at it. And it's obviously not flight suit clothing.
no, it is not.
Can I tell what kind of wounds are on this individual?
Yes. The person has suffered some grievous wounds. It looks like he was mauled or attacked by something sharp. Several injuries have even exposed bone. Give me a perception check, an active perception check.
And that's a percentile.
Yes, it is. Percentile.
Let me not grab the wrong one. Okay, I have a second one because that one hit the floor. Oh, well, I rolled a 90.
Well, you did well.
30. Yes.
You find what appears to be a tooth lodged in the flesh and sinew of the corpse. The tooth has very serrated edges and closely resembles that of a Terran shark.
Franklin,
I'm sorry, a what?
A shark,
was this
like
Dude.
what you would find on Earth.
She is
Dude.
going to literally pull it out because obviously this being is long dead, and will extend it while Dank is yelling, Franklin!
That was a terrible impression of me. Franklin,
I
was this
know.
the same animal as the one that killed the other humans?
I leap off and come down there and let's take a look. What we got? I know the snow's down, but what's these tracks look like, and does it look similar?
It's hard to tell if there was tracks because of all the fresh snow.
Yeah. Well, what about
Wait.
the slash marks and everything? Are these the same creature?
No, the wounds appear to be not made by scavengers, but something may have directly attacked this person.
So wait, you
Can I
are
see
telling
that-
me
that
you are
too?
telling me that there is shark in the street? Whoever heard of a street shark? Sorry, Franklin. Tell me more.
Oh yeah, there's street sharks. There's shark sandwich, shark
Street
gumbo.
Street Sharks were a gang, I believe, in the 1960s on Earth. Very good dancers as well as fighters.
Yeah, I heard something about that. Yeah, they had jets too. Yep.
Yes, but go on. I'm so sorry. I'm very concerned about shark in the street.
Yeah, I didn't want to say this before, but I think maybe we're dealing with some kind of warfare between two different types of werewolves.
Actually, you know what? At this point, the fact that I'm seeing land sharks,
One of them werewolves would be sharks.
the werewolf would not even surprise me at this point.
Where shark?
That is
Where
the
shark?
question, actually. Where is
I've heard
the shark?
stories.
Yes.
Well, let's bring this body back to town. I'm sure someone is missing this person.
Well,
I guess so.
Yeah, you're gonna load the body into the mule.
I look around. Are there the other buildings? Or is there anyone around?
Curiously, no.
Oh,
And that's
hell
why
no.
I would just leave the body, obviously.
Oh, we're in town already. I thought we were still on the road.
No, you're right on the edge of the town.
Okay.
And there are, you can see bodies, not bodies, excuse me, buildings around. But your vision, your ability to see distance is greatly being reduced by the snowfall, which is getting heavier.
I would like to stress once again, perhaps we should seek shelter that would stand a land shock.
Yeah, let's get out of here. I mean, let's find the best building we can. Oh man.
And we can investigate that building. Just let me go in first, clear the front room, and then we can proceed.
All right. Well, there are two buildings. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. So you are right here. This little blobby here is where you found the body.
Yeah.
And you can see buildings 1, 2, and 3 pretty clearly, and 4 and this one over here are kind of hazy because of the snow.
How big are those buildings? The first two?
They're sizable. probably about the size of large houses.
What do they appear to be made of?
Natural materials, wood, that sort of thing.
Gone. Okay.
Is that a church on the right? That number 2 building?
It looks like it could be.
The number 2 building, that's the outhouse.
How would you know? What do you say we head to that? That's kind of a place that people tend to congregate.
Certainly. Sure.
All right.
All right. So you make your way over to the building, and as you walk up to it, you enter the building and are standing between rows of pews. You called it correctly. It is a religious gathering building. On the far end of the building is a dais upon which sits an altar. The space is dimly lit by sconces on both side walls and lit candles on either side of the altar. Silence fills the hall.
But there's lit candles.
There are lit candles.
Are these space candles that last for a really long time, or
No,
can we
they are normal
assume
candles.
that these are normal candles that have been lit recently? All right. Well,
Greetings,
Michelle.
New
we're gonna announce
Plymothians.
ourselves. Okay.
Well, if there's anyone here, I would like to know about it.
You are met with
Plymothian?
silence.
Okay.
I would like to. This is bad place for this, but I would like to take a peek around and see if there are any computing devices with which I can plug in, perhaps little box to see what happens. You know what I mean? Like, I imagine that this is a floppy disk, and I am looking for subwoofer. I know that's not what's happening, but you know.
No, it's actually a box containing all kinds of recording devices, which has an external plug on it that you would connect it to a computer
Another-
system that can read it. Yep.
All right, and there's obviously this is church. There is nothing here for that I can see.
Not from what you can see, no. Once you look around the building, you find that the entire building is empty. There is off to the left side of the altar, there is a small room that, aside from holding several ceremonial robes, really doesn't contain anything of interest.
I want to answer Evelyn's question.
Oh.
Evelyn says, "Does Mace have something they can plug into it?" You know, we did we did cover this earlier, but left out the fact that yes, we could plug it in. I have a few places where you could plug it in, but I won't be able to read it, so we can't. Unfortunately, Bank cannot get information off of the device.
Well
They're
said.
laughing
viruses.
again. I do not understand why they are laughing again.
Dank, we're gonna have a very long discussion about vernacular.
I am just explaining. You see,
okay. So the door was not locked when we came in
Nope.
the front door.
No, it was
Candles
not.
were lit.
Yep.
Was there like a pentagram on the floor or
Oh
anything?
my goodness.
Nope.
Okay, Michelle is going to continue through the main part of the church and looking for things that I know some of those places have. Doors to a back office or rectory or whatever the words are called. Any type of like
Now-
back door to anything.
In this one, there isn't. It's a fairly small building. There aren't any offices in the back or such. It was just the one small storage room for ceremonial robes and other accoutrements.
Are there extra candles?
There are some extra candles, yes.
They go into my pocket immediately.
Okay.
Just make sure they're not lit.
Oh, I could blow out current candles and stick in pockets, but that
Oh,
might
gotta
summon
leave-
eldritch horror.
Try not to leave any trace that we messed anything up.
Yeah, no.
I think we're beyond that.
I'm of
There's dead
silence,
bodies.
Well,
like
here.
land shark.
Man. Should we check out the next building?
I think so. I think we should try to find anyone who lives here, or at least the survivors. When was the last time anyone had contact with this colony?
You're not 100% sure, but you know that the way that cargo shipments are done to colony worlds, they're on a set schedule, and about a week or two before a shipment shows up, there is contact to ensure that there are people to receive the delivery and that the delivery is what they need, etc.
And
So it's
everything
been at
seems normal
least,
then.
yep, it's been at least a week or so.
Is the snow getting worse?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Once again, I'm going to stress shelter.
You're gonna
So
stress.
perhaps we should wait. It's what I'm saying. It's snowing pretty badly.
Oh, we're not gonna die in the town, are we? How silly would that be?
Go. You know what? Go ahead. Building. I encourage it.
Perhaps we should investigate one more building, at least.
Yeah.
Sure. Let
I mean,
us.
the survivors could be here, right now. They could need our help desperately.
All right. Where are you thinking of going to?
All right, computer brain, what do you think?
Well, I don't think that we should split up, but I do know that logically we should check the last building first. The last building that we would check should be the first building that we will check. And that way we'll spend less time checking buildings. I would say let's go for 5.
That,
All the way
that
over
makes
there.
sense.
Is that a building?
Yes, it is. All right.
Can we tell if any of the other buildings, so like we could tell that the one we went into first was kind of a church. Do any of those buildings look like they might have either someone in them, or it might be like a place where they would have computers and communication devices and things like that? So if somebody was trying to radio for help or whatever, they would go to that building.
Well, there are several buildings that you can tell lights are on inside, especially across the way from the church. There's a building with lights on inside. But give me an intelligence check.
Okay. That's going to be a 66. Do I add
All right.
anything to that?
You don't need to. You pretty much, the shark opens the door. You've pretty much made it.
Okay.
You recall that the captain had said something about this being a Luddite colony, which has very low tech.
Oh, right. Do we check the building with lights or go
Any of them look like
to
a
the
pub.
end of the path?
I say
Not
we go
that you can
for
tell from the church.
we go for a lively place where people might be and things might exist, and also computer.
If there was somewhere where if something was going on, the whole town would meet at the inn or something like that. So the pub, you're right, Franklin. We should go to the pub.
No, where is the pub?
Is there pub? Can I track the pub-like object?
Well, it's getting hard to see buildings around the plaza, but you can still see that the building across the way has lights on. A couple of the buildings you passed coming in looked like they might have lights on. somewhere inside. So
Well, let's make it quick. Let's go a wassailing. We'll just knock on every door. Let's sing some Christmas carols. Let's do it.
well, which one are you going to?
Let's do the one straight across.
One straight across.
Is that the one that has the commercial break in it?
I think so.
All right, I
Oh,
was
this is a good break.
I was waiting for the moment where we kicked open the door, and then I was going to take this moment. But yes, I actually think that now is an excellent time. Let me make myself nice and big here to do a very quick break in the middle of our session here. We are about halfway through of our very first exciting game of Stellar Chaos. But for the meantime, I am going to let you know that we are brought to you this evening by our fantastic sponsors. Our first sponsor is I can never find this graphic. I don't know why. Mavs Mobile Mercantile, a whirlwind of whimsical merch awaits you at Mavs Mobile Mercantile, where you can find stickers, magnets, mugs, and more with incredible and hilarious imagery made by our very own Mav Just Mav. Be sure to drop by the shop at mavsmobilemercantile.com. Should I be doing this in accent? Would that be funnier?
Do it.
All right. Next, we are brought to you by Ren Adventures D&D New Orleans Tour, Pirate Alley's Haunted Hotels. I'm making myself laugh. Mystic Seances and more await you on the Ren Adventures D&D Tour of New Orleans, Louisiana. Come along for the spooky fun, December 5th through the 9th. Visit renadventures.com for more details. And of course, if you have not yet become a Patreon subscriber, and then I kick her, sir, sorry. It is certainly a great time to check it out. Subscribers already have access to bonus content and contests with amazing prizes, discount codes for merchandise, exclusive AMAs, which we are going to have. Check your schedule on September 1st, Patreon peoples. We have all this information for you for September. Some of your channel favorites, and of course, games you can play set right in the world of Earth, just like our game going on right now, Escape from Yarl Island, which we are going on to part 8, which is unbelievable. We are that far into the year. Go to patreon.com/net21adventures to learn more. This is getting old. All right, we are on the last one, which is good because, not to forget, we could not bring exciting, out of this world nonsense to you every week without you folks. That's right. It is thanks to your support and viewership that we can bring you campaigns like these just about every single day of the week. So here is to each and every one of you, Prost. Or huzzah.
Na zdravoj.
Cheers.
That was exhausting. I'm not gonna do that in accent again.
Robots don't drink anyway, so.
What? That's true. We talked about this. I do not need to ingest fluids or solids like a human. I have my lube that maintains my systems.
We won't mention the nanobots and what they're doing.
Oh, God.
The nanobots are covered in lube.
Helps them go down easier.
Okay, keep the drink in, not out. Yes.
She's talking about nanobots. What?
Covered in lube.
Millions of them. I started naming them, but then it got weird. And so now I just kind of think of them all as one nanobot, but a million times over.
Oh my god, are they like minions?
Oh
Like-
my God, they're
like-
like minions.
Good job.
No,
They're
they're
like,
way cooler than that.
oh, good. Well, I kick in the door.
All right. Well,
Oh, okay.
I yell "Merry Christmas" and or whatever religion you think this is.
all right. Well, you approach the building and kick in the door. You step through the doors into the well-lit interior, and you are in the reception area of the sheriff's office, which is lined with benches.
I yell, "We're from the consortium. We're here to help."
A waist-high railing with a swinging gate separates the reception area from the office inside, where you can see 3 desks arrayed around the room, but they're all empty.
Good. I don't really like cops.
Greetings, humans of the Nope, never mind.
Is anyone here? Is there a back office that you can hear me in?
There are 4 empty holding cells on the back wall. And off to one side on one side wall, there is a closed door. Otherwise, the office appears empty of people.
Am I able to see for some type of like sign of struggle?
You're gonna go investigate inside the.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm gonna take a look around.
All right. As you look around, you notice that there are signs of a struggle. You do find some blood. You do find a hole broken through a wall towards the back corner of the office.
Is
What?
it wet?
Is which wet?
Anything, because sharks.
No.
No,
The blood's wet, but
Am I able to tell the difference between maybe scuffs, claws, hand, like clawing of hands, things like that?
there are definitely claws marks around the hole in the wall and on the floor by the wall. Other than that, it's hard to tell other scuff marks from just general wear of people being in the room.
Okay.
I'm not there yet. I actually say, hey, Logan, is there like a computer on this police station? Maybe they got some information you could hack into when you're done stealing all their pencils. She's too busy stealing all their pencils.
I'm so sorry. I was trying to comment. Yes. This is
Stop
what
stealing
happens
their pencils.
when you try to make smart alecky comments in comment section and don't pay attention to games. Yes, I am actively stealing pencils, but just the erasers off of them. They make good conductors for computer chips.
You're the
yes,
one.
What was that?
Said you're the one who steals all the erasers.
It's good thing. It's good for us. I promise.
Weird.
Yes, I will take a look around because I need to know.
All right, you look around. You look around, but there are no. I see that there are no computers in here, but there are filing cabinets.
I
full
look
of paper.
inside the filing. Can I open filing cabinets? Is it locked?
Yeah, you can open them. They're not locked. You
I
go
am
through.
going- Yes.
There's files on several different townsfolk. They're kind of boring. They're talking about, so and so was drunk and they held him in the cell overnight, and one of the kids tried to swipe something from the marketplace and got caught, and had to do some community service. But it's just boring small town stuff.
All right. Yes, nothing interesting in here. Darn.
Franklin, are you still near the front door?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Watching
Give me a
Logan steal all the stuff.
Give me a perception check. Active perception.
Jeez Louise. How about a 60 with my whatever bonus I have? I rolled a 60.
You rolled a 60.
Active perception is 36. Oh, so that's actually a total, right? I add the number.
Yep. You add the
So
number.
That's a 96.
Yeah, that's really good. You notice that hanging on the wall next to the door that you guys stormed through is a map of the entire town. It's an aerial, kind of an aerial map
Hey,
with buildings labeled and such.
is there a pub?
There is not a pub.
This town is worthless.
Puritan.
Is there anything else significant other than the church?
There is a marketplace. There are several storage buildings. some of the buildings that you passed and that are also there are multiple buildings in the town, several of which you passed, that are residence buildings. Let's see. And there is an infirmary.
Let's go there.
I suggest that as well.
I agree with my girl Dank here. Yes.
Not a girl.
But
I am a mobile autonomous synthetic executor. I do not have a gender.
Right.
It is true. She is Mace, not girl.
Not girl. Right. Thank
Mace,
you.
Not girl. Mace,
Good job.
not yes.
I like to call Dank the royal we. So, as opposed to, they or.
Thank thee.
It's not they them, it's thee thou.
Well, I mean, with all those nanobats, I mean, I just figure I'm addressing all of you. So.
Some
There
of
you
my
go.
nanobots have genders, though.
Oh,
Oddly enough.
All right. So you head over to where the infirmary is. How are you entering this building? Are you going to kick down the door too?
I
mean, I'm not
literally
going
turned
to
back
do
and go,
it.
should I kick in the door? And then,
In case anyone does come back, this is, their town. Perhaps they would rather you not kick down the door if it's open.
we should
It is
maybe
not
be
locked.
slightly more quiet.
See, there you go.
I push
I
on the
open
door.
The door.
It opens without any resistance.
See, somebody could have hurt their foot kicking that door in.
Greetings, new Plymothians.
There is no response.
Dang it.
That's no Plymothians, not new Plymothians.
Yes. So you walk through the doors into the lobby area. There's a handful of chairs around the wall near the front door, and a small reception desk sits close to the back wall next to a door. Blood is smeared on the floor near the desk.
I would like to once again inspect for what kind of struggle it is.
It looks like somebody had a really grievous injury and was dragged across the floor.
All right, Michelle's gonna look around and be like, I really think they may have an infestation of some kind.
Does it look like anything in particular is missing? Like if I were to look around, it's like, okay, someone took all the bandages or someone took all the anti-venom or
Nope. No, nothing appears to be missing from this room. I mean, you are just in the lobby, though.
I
Let's go
follow
deeper.
the blood trail.
yeah.
All right. Well, the blood trail leads back through the door, the back door, excuse me, the door next to the desk that leads further into the building.
Okay.
Not the front door you came in, the separate door. As you walk through that, you realize that you've just stepped into a treatment room. It's obvious it's the room where most of the day-to-day medical work happens. There's a bed against the back wall. There are large spots of blood staining its sheets. Counters and shelves line the other three walls covered in medical apparatus, books, and anatomical models. Rolling trays near the bed with gauze, suture needles and thread, and other various medical tools. And bloody gauze is on the floor.
I would like to take what's not bloodied and add it to my kit.
I would like to very quickly, did not think of this till just now, just go back to the desk and see if there are any filing cabinets or records there. All
right, you go back to the desk.
Yes.
You search through the drawers and you find that several of the drawers do have files in them. Yeah.
All right. I would like to look in them to see if any of them are like recent. You know, this person just came in for a broken arm. This person just came in because they keep turning into a shark. You know, something like that.
That escalated.
Much like the sheriff's office, it's just boring, mundane stuff.
All right.
Nothing extraordinary.
I steal pencil erasers and come back.
When it, when you go to the hospital, they have the sign-in sheet. What
Mhm.
time was the last, like, what seemed to be normal sign-in?
It was about a day and a half prior.
Okay. And I assume that means there were no abnormal sign-ins.
Correct.
No one said Shark Man enters room.
No. Somebody came in with a fever.
Oh. All right.
A
I think
fever,
they probably turned into a werewolf because of the fever.
Were shark is always starts with a fever.
And then you get clammy, and then you get sharky.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
Well, I mean, do we go through each room and see if there's anyone here at all?
I mean, I would be happy to clear the rooms and while we can investigate.
I feel it's probably safe to split up within the building.
Is it cold? Is the heat on?
There is some heat on in this building, yes.
So I mean, these people couldn't have disappeared too long ago. Dang candles still burning in the church.
I mean, a day and a half without anyone checking into the hospital. Well, I don't know how often people check into the hospital. Is there like gaps? It's not a big colony. Maybe people don't go to the hospital every day.
No, it's not every day. It's every couple of days. Somebody might come
Okay.
by.
Okay.
So you're going to clear the building?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Are you splitting up?
I don't know that we should. It doesn't seem like that big of building. Let us stick together.
I could insert a joke here, but I'm just gonna go with I would not separate.
No one's
right.
wearing a red shirt. We're fine. No, I'm kidding.
Look, I've seen this movie and it does not end well for one of the
All
four.
right, we won't split up then.
All right. So you have in the treatment room, there are two doors, one leading to the left and one leading to the right. Which way would you like to go?
Left.
All right. So the door opens up to a small room dominated by a large desk covered in papers and books. On most of the walls are shelves with even more medical tomes and a certificate framed on the wall.
What does it say?
It is an educational certificate for somebody who is a doctor here.
What's
Anyone
their
we
name?
know?
Nobody famous. I mean, last name Jones, but
Okay. Dr. Jones?
Philip Jones. Sure.
He's the guy
Is
who
his
built the ark.
first name Henry?
No, Philip.
Oh, okay.
Henry's his brother.
Does he sound like Sean? Stop.
Next room.
Yes, next room. Yes.
Next
Yep,
room.
next-
All right. You walk into the room and notice that there's an operating table knocked over on its side. The room is filled with simple medical devices to aid in surgeries, but even then, it's fairly primitive by standards of the day. In the corner of the room, behind some rolling trays and the operating table, is a sheet covering something lumpy.
I'm going to make my way to the lump.
I'm going to cover her.
Franklin seems to, yes, and I will remove the sheets from the lump.
All right. How are you removing the sheet?
Because I do not choose that violence, I will happily lean back and grab the end off the floor and yoink.
All right. You yoink it away, and under the sheet is a human. He is naked and tightly curled up in the fetal position. And he's
Does he appear
showing-
to be breathing?
Yes.
All right. I am going to now return the sheet back around the nude man.
He is currently
But leave it-
unconscious.
Do I know he's unconscious? Because I was going to ask him a question.
No, Franklin. He's out.
He made no reaction when the sheet came off of him.
He is out cold, as they would say. I would just like to do a quick vitals check
All
on
right.
him to see what state he's in.
Can you tell if he's were-shark or werewolf?
Let's start with is where his clothes are. How about that?
He's a
Oh,
washed
come on.
werewolf.
That's no fun.
Well, first and foremost, you can tell that he's got some blunt trauma and he's got a little bit of frostbite on his feet from exposure.
That's it? That's the only part? Okay.
No, it's not.
Where
Prince
else are you
Harry.
checking?
It's nowhere else.
Where else are you checking?
I'm sorry, I'm done.
I don't
All
get
right,
it.
so she would just perform some like first aid on him, like to probably clean his wound quickly, at least get it wrapped up. You know, she'll
right.
probably even tell Dank, find me something warm so I can at least cover him up and then we can get him out of here.
Looking for some clothes, looking for some smelling salts too.
Are
All right.
there any clothes here? I mean, is there like a uniform that's been cut off of him, or
There are no clothes that you can find around.
Hufflepuff said, wear clothes.
he might be one of those wash and wear wolves? So
God.
Anyway, give me a first aid roll.
First aid
That'll be percentile.
plus
and you
my
add your,
modifier.
Add your skill modifier. Yes.
Okay.
I didn't say they were good jokes.
Oh, that is not AD. There. Oh, well, I rolled 100.
Well then.
Wow.
Good grief! It's no bad rolls tonight.
And 35. Let me stop.
All right, so you do perform first aid on him and do excellently. However, you do note that he needs some serious medical treatment, otherwise he could die.
Obviously, we're
You-
in an infirmary place already.
Yes.
Can I please ask Dank to return the surgical table from whence it came in the correct position? And I'll ask Franklin to help me get him up on the table.
All right.
And kind of do a quick scan of what's available. Because I have
All
both
right.
primary and emergency care if need be.
Right. And you have your first aid kit as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all the stuff I stole from the infirmary.
All right. You get him up on there. Give me a second first aid roll.
Okay. I'm gonna just look on the floor. Okay, so that is 70. Wait, no, 85. I can't add.
85. All right. You are able to stabilize him, but he is still pretty much out cold. And it's your best guess that it's probably going to be a while before he comes around on his own.
Okay. If we could just get him blankets and cover him because he is not in a condition to probably move right now. So we're just gonna pie him whatever. They should have some type of hospital blankets here or something.
Yeah, there are blankets and sheets available.
All right. Anyway, so I see someone, Hufflepuff told me to check the eyes. I'm assuming I would have checked the eyes during all of my shenanigans to make sure there were no blown pupils.
Yeah, no, his eyes are normal.
Just making sure
Cool.
he doesn't have those dead eyes like a doll's eyes.
You mean like a shark? Just like a shark. All right, so she's gonna make sure he's like covered and warm in case he might be in shock or whatnot, and I suppose.
Wait. I would like to do one more thing. One more thing. Just in case he wakes up and does the crazy, where am I? Oh no, flaily. I have tape that I took. I would like to bind his hands and feet to the table. Just in case he wakes up. He might hurt himself.
Sure.
Are there little railings on the sides of the tables? We could just put up the railings,
Sure. There's that too. You could tape his arms and legs to the railings,
There you go. Yeah, just the
Whatever
little.
yeah.
He'll be fine.
No kink shaming.
Are we
even
just
though
Vitruvian? Are we just Vitruvian Manning this guy?
No, comfy. We make him comfy. I'm not trying to harm him. I'm just saying that when you wake up from long ouchie, it might be scary and you might try to attack somebody, especially because you're like the only person living in town full of bloody messes. So just in case.
I have no problem with this. It sounds like safety measures.
Yes, of course.
And we'll tape a note to his face that says, "We did this for your own safety."
Yes, very good. Yes, very
And
good.
we'll be
A
back.
note that he won't have a hand to reach up and take it off his face so he can read it.
Yes.
We'll write it very, very small in front of his eye.
Look, if he's crafty enough to figure out a way to read it, then he's smart enough to come with us.
Next
All
room.
right. So as you are doing all this, in all the gear that you took out of the mule included a radio, which starts crackling, and you hear somebody speaking over it.
And what are they saying?
Well, as you listen to it, it sounds like somebody from the ship trying to get a hold of you.
Oh.
I intercept.
Come back. Can't understand you.
This is the Nautilus checking in on you. We've had a really bad weather condition come in. It's looking like it's going to hang around for probably about another 24 hours.
Roger that. I believe we will be staying here. We have not located the survivors of the crew, but we do know that there are 5 dead and suspected one. I suspect we have found one.
Tell him there's
Still
nobody in the
looking for the other
town.
2. What?
Let him know there's nobody in the town.
Except
Right.
for the gentleman we found.
Town is abandoned. Apparently, there are another confirmed dead town member, blood everywhere. Maybe send backup.
Roger, we hear that. Unfortunately, the weather is such that we can't get anybody out to you. So best bet is to hunker down as best as you can. Stay in touch. Contact us at once an hour so we know your status. As soon as we can, we'll try to move the ship over to the landing pad next to the town.
Copy that. Over. Well, that's great. Haha, haha, sarcasm. I learned it.
Oh man.
All those talks that you have with me are really paying off, Michelle.
I don't think the right ones are sticking.
Oh.
So perhaps we should finish
It's all the
clearing this building, and once
That took a moment.
Mechanical devices need to be lubricated.
I was trying to ignore it and then just no. But we should perhaps finish clearing this building, regroup with our victim here, and hunker down for the night. Because even they're saying, once again, it's getting bad.
All right, but let's get this rest of this building squared away so
Yes.
make sure we don't have any
Didn't I just okay?
holes. I want to secure the building.
Yes. Next room.
Oh, you've actually cleared all the rooms.
Oh,
It's,
okay, never
it's a
mind.
small infirmary.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna go back and check on our friend here, who is now covered in hospital blankets and not nude
And taped to the table.
and
Yeah.
taped to the table. because
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
I'm sure he will when you have to take the tape off.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna cut it off. It's fine. There's plenty of scalpels. As long as he doesn't move, he'll be fine.
All right. So, how are you securing their building? What are you going to do?
Lock the doors.
And I would like to suggest putting furniture against the doors.
All right. So, as you do so, you have secured the front door. You have pushed furniture up against it. You have an unconscious person back in the operating theater on a table. Where are you all setting up inside?
Hmm.
I would like to, at least myself, be in or around room full of papers because I still want to look at them. It was not high priority, but if we're here all night,
You mean the doctor's office?
yes, with all the papery things fluttering about.
Right. Okay.
Oh no, is Logan a pyro too?
No, I'm not going to set them. I'm going to read them.
And also, perhaps we should take shifts just in case. From the last building we saw with a hole in it and a lot of blood and wild animal scratches.
Yeah.
And this is a one-story building,
Yes.
so we're in the.
I do not require sleep, so I could just be
Well, yeah, there you go. Guard the
lookout.
door. So there you go. Guard the door, and we can take turns keeping you company or something.
I shall be lookout.
And set them on fire.
It's the only way to be sure.
Yes. All right. So you all take shifts starting to sleep, and Dank is watching the door. A couple hours pass by, completely uneventful, and then you start to hear something outside. It sounds kind of like rustling, like something's shifting and moving through the snow.
Can I get a look at it at all?
No, it's too dark outside to see.
How big does it sound?
Big enough to hear.
Am I able to peek out of a window?
You can peek out of the window, but it's a little bit dark. It's hard to see.
No,
Give
I
me
don't
an
feel
active
the shadow.
Give me an active perception check.
After
From everyone or just her?
Just her.
110.
Good grief.
I'm sorry, 113.
Oh, that's better. You look out the window. You see something shift. It's a shadow. It's hard to tell what size or shape it was, but you saw something shift in the dark.
Guys, there's something obviously outside. Can I tell about how big it is? Like just by using like whatever it's near it, maybe it's like a guy, like if it's by a building, like
It's the best I can give you is either it's on all fours crawling through the snow, or it's not that big. Maybe the size of a small dog.
Or a small mountain land shark.
I say we keep our eyes on this shadow that's moving. She's gonna keep
Do
our
we
eye
not
on it.
have a flare or anything?
Are you opening the door to send one out?
Yeah.
We
Oh.
have lots of candles. You're welcome.
I think a flare would hold up better in the snow.
Is there a window beside it so that I can if there's a door here, is there a window?
Yes,
So that I
that's what
can-
Michelle was just looking out of.
Yeah, so well
Would
I
it
will
be easier to throw it out the window?
You could potentially do that. But before we do that, do you have a flare?
Do we have a flare?
do we have a flare?
No, you had flashlights.
We could throw one of the flashlights
Wait,
out
I
there
don't.
and put it later.
I wouldn't. Hold on. I wouldn't have a flare in my survival kit.
Logan.
No, there's no flares.
Now, I was going to say, here's what we do back in Euro Congress, okay? Back when I lived in Cartagena Nova, I had to do this once or twice. Don't ask questions. We get a bottle of alcohol from the shelf infirmary. We take some of the icky, sticky, bloody gauze, stick it in, then we light my candle, and we throw it out the window. Big boom! We see whatever's there.
I have more questions about why we're making small bombs out of liquor.
Well, it's not
Ain't not
liquor. It's
liquor.
probably
Not
rubbing
liquor,
alcohol.
like rubbing alcohol.
I mean, I've drank. You know what? Don't worry
Just
about it.
because Michelle would drink it.
Look, have you had some of this vodka? It literally tastes like rubbing alcohol.
I do not require food or drink. I only have lubrication that allows my parts to operate. How big of an explosion is this creation of yours, Logan?
So it is small boom, but enough that the gauze must burn off. So it would give us a good, what, you say 15 seconds of light to see where we threw it in what direction. If there's something
Sure,
there,
well-
like 10, 15 seconds before it all goes away in the snow.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Mhm.
I can roll with that.
I'm so sorry that this is what you had to roll with, but here we are.
I think that is what we should do then.
All right.
And I will probably shoot whatever it is.
Me too, probably, as long as it doesn't look human.
All right.
Right, Franklin?
So you cobble together your alcohol bottle and gauze. You light the gauze on fire. Do you remember to open the window first?
I hope so.
Please open the window.
All right, you throw it out there. It hits the ground and goes boom.
Mhm.
And for a moment, you do see movement moving away from the explosion, but you can't quite see what it is. It actually looks like it's under the snow.
Oh,
I don't like this.
This is like Tremors, but snowman.
Oh, snap.
Snow snake. Space snow snake.
No snack?
okay. How does the
Space
rest of
noodle.
the night go?
Dank's like, so anyway.
Well, I'm not
worry
going
about
after
that.
it.
No. I'm going to keep my eye on that spot.
Okay.
Any more movement.
All right. You keep an eye on that spot. How long do you try to stay awake to do so?
What time does it seem to be about now?
You're middle of the night.
Dank doesn't need sleep, right?
Right.
Okay,
Alright, well,
there
right?
you go.
The rest of us will take turns.
Again, yes.
Once I can actually get to sleep, that my heart is pounding because snow snakes. Not what I mean. Now it's werewolves, were-sharks, and snow snakes. I don't know.
This planet
So-
sucks.
What? These names
Snow
are
worm.
Alaskan bulwark.
Yes, welcome to New Plymouth, or as they call it, Snowrakis.
Oh, jeez.
Oh
The
man.
snow must flow. Oh no, I'm sorry. The snow must let it go. I don't know. Somewhere there's a
You
No
must
frozen.
let it go.
Crossover somewhere. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll
Right.
take turns.
Yep, keeping our eye out.
Snow fight. Finally, some decent
right.
snow for a good snowball fight. You know how long it's been? And I just walk out there and start throwing snowballs.
Oh,
Ew.
And Michelle's is gonna be like this with the door.
Come on, everyone. It's fun. Ha 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 ha. What could go wrong? Ha ha.
Push the furniture in front of the door again.
Yes.
All right. So you each take a turn. After about another hour or so, you start to hear scratching and scraping.
Where?
Scratch. I was gonna say on the door.
Nope.
Uh-oh.
Nope. It sounds like it
So-
might be coming from a wall.
Is
Um,
it coming from the room where we tied a guy up with duct tape?
No, you're hearing
Oh,
it
okay.
in the lobby area.
How about if I go to the wall that it sounds like it's coming from? Is there a window on said wall?
No.
Then never mind. I do not go to the wall. I will not choose violence. I will not find the route.
Well, I will point the even bigger gun that we got from the mule.
Oh my god.
I use my tracking skills. Pew,
You're gonna
pew,
shoot at the
indeed.
wall?
Please don't.
I'm gonna wait. But I'm definitely gonna try to shoot at whatever I think is the most important part of it. Whatever I can. Once somebody gives me the
Okay.
word.
Hold on before you shoot. Greetings, New Plymothian. Did it say anything back?
No, you just hear scratch, 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 scratch.
All right, I should
Yeah.
probably shoot it.
No, do not ruin the integrity of these primitive walls.
Well,
we
you
can
start
hear the
to
scratching
wood
through the walls.
crunching.
But there's no way to see. And wait, so is this sound coming from outside of the
Yes.
building? Okay.
Yes.
So, wait, you said there was
Scratching.
crunching?
The scratching's getting a little more furious, and you can hear the wood crunching underneath the scratches.
Oh, it's coming through.
Yeah.
My gun will do less damage to the wall than it scratches. So, yeah, sayonara, sucker.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
You had your chance,
Yeah.
New Plymothian.
Give me. Let's see. You're using a rifle.
Yes.
All right. You're using the MR15.
The
Just
largest
MR16,
one
yeah.
in the land.
All right. Do you have, out of curiosity, do you have basic weapons rifle?
Oh, I have basic weapons. Hold, please, while I look at my skill chart. Got combat intuition, tracking, street sense. I have basic weapons, sidearms.
You want me
Okay.
to do it? Because I can do
You can
it.
still use the rifle. It just means you don't get a skill bonus for it.
Oh, just kidding. Never mind.
Oh, I'm shooting.
If he misses, I'm definitely firing next.
I rolled an
You know.
86.
You rolled an 86.
And I don't get any other skill bonuses, or
Nope. No.
all right.
Man,
86.
All right.
good.
That's my number.
You shoot a hole in the wall. You see a flurry of movement, and then it's gone.
Take that, Plymouthians.
So now you have a small hole in the wall.
Am I gonna look through the hole?
I don't know. Are you?
You're the guy
No
who's
one's
good at
stopping.
looking at stuff.
I look through the hole.
You notice that whatever it was has left a snow trail leading off. There is something dark and wet looking in that trail. And you can also tell that if you hadn't shot the wall, it would have been through the wall very, very quickly. It was almost through to begin with.
Shall we follow it in the morning?
Is it still snowing?
It's still snowing.
Should we follow it right now?
Yes.
Snow termites.
Snow, the worst.
Where termites?
Oh. I
Is it a full
say,
moon?
I see me and Dank go out there real quick and see. But let's not go too far.
Yeah, let's see if we can maybe get another shot.
Yeah. Y'all two want to hold down the fort, make sure naked guy doesn't do anything silly. All right, let's go.
Yes.
All right. You move the furniture out from in front of the door, rush out the door, go around the corner to where the wall was being attacked. There's definitely a trail going off that leads about 20 feet and then just disappears.
Like it rose up. I look up.
You don't see anything.
Did it go under the snow?
Are you there? Yeah, you are there. Give me a perception check.
Okay, wait. I get to add
Active perception.
survival. What, active perception?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so with my I was looking at them backwards. Okay, first I thought I had a 17, but I have a 71.
Okay.
Plus
You notice
30.
it does. You notice it does go down underneath the snow.
All right. Do I go dig after this?
Like, is it a tunnel or?
From what you can tell from where you're standing, it goes down and down into a hole.
We should go back. I
How many
mean,
rounds of ammunition do I have?
Let's see, you've fired once.
One.
You have a 30-round magazine, so you got about 9 more bursts out of that thing before you have to change magazines.
we've seen what this thing has done to others. Perhaps we should not meet the same fate.
I'm with you. Let's get out of here.
At least we'll be able to find this spot again.
Will we?
Why wouldn't we be able to find it? Like, we only walked a few feet, so
Yeah, true.
we can. You're a tracker.
Triangulate the location. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we'll come dig this up in the morning and see what we can find. with the
All
whole
right.
crew.
All right. So, has anybody been keeping touch with the ship, by the way?
I assume that I probably have checked in, considering. Hello, oopsie poopsie, I slept a little, but I hear now. Ding
This
dong.
time you just meet Static.
Oh no.
Oh, great.
Either
Okay.
everyone is dead or that antenna has tipped over again. I should have used more gum. I'm sorry. No excuses.
So we get back and you're like,
Oops.
Can't raise the
Listen.
ship.
They're
Well-
not answering, so they could all be drunk too and turn it off. I don't know.
Maybe it is the storm.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go back and check on our tied up friend.
All right. He is still very much unconscious.
I'm going to at least unduct tape his feet.
Okay. You untape his feet.
His feet or his fins?
Oh man.
Dun dun dun.
Is it the next day yet?
Not quite.
I get a wild idea. I go over into the doctor's. Logan,
Yeah.
did you read any paper? Is this one of those doctors doing experiments that shouldn't be done, turning people into were-sharks?
That depends. Have I read anything like this yet?
No.
He's just boring. Here's how to remove stones on your tonsils. Here's how to remove stones from your kidneys. Here's how to remove stones from other places. Here's how to remove a man's stones. I mean, it goes on and on.
They really like stones.
Yeah.
That was my next guess.
Is stones?
Stone.
We
Where
could
stones?
melt all of the snow.
Stoneware.
Stoneware. We could melt all of the snow in which to see where this thing is going. I will make more Molotov cocktails.
Okay.
You're just gonna prepare all of the alcohol. You know, we might need some of that for like wounds and things.
I will leave alone. I will think about it.
I still would have actively grabbed some stuff already and added to my stash. That's what I steal. Before Pyromaniac Logan decides to go on a Molotov cocktail
I am
spree.
no pyromania. Everybody wants to blind me. Oh no, there goes pyro over there. I took a couple candles.
All right. So you make it back inside. The thing went down underground. You've untaped the guy on his feet on the table. There's nothing odd in any of the paperwork that Logan's been reading. And you can't raise the ship for some reason. So let's see. I'm looking at the time, and I'm wondering if we should pause it here.
This might be good.
Yep. If we need to, if it's going to start a whole other big thing, we might want to just next time. Or
Yes.
Next time we burrow.
You know, I do want to say, I know we didn't do it at the halftime point, but personally, this is just something that I would like to do. How do we all feel about doing just a quick round of confessions?
Oh, yeah.
It's been
All
so
right.
long.
So let's just let's go one by one here.
Well, we have found 5 of the bodies, a couple of villagers, and I am discovering that one of my teammates is a kleptomaniac, and the other is just American. Yeah, that sums it up.
Oh, me too. Well, let's see. We have 4 intrepid adventurers who are definitely trying to figure out what the heck is going on, and along the way are stealing everything they can and shooting everything else.
All in all, not a bad mission so far. Levels of foolishness have been well within the accepted parameters. I don't understand why everyone laughs whenever I talk about my mechanical functions. It just doesn't seem that odd to me. Obviously, machines need lubrication. I lube myself. That is what I do. Because when I am asked, do you eat food or drink? That's the closest equivalent. So it comes up a lot. And I just don't know what's so funny about it.
I have stolen many erasers this day, several candles, a lot of copper wire. I've thrown some Molotov cocktails, and we found a naked guy. And after all of this, we are no closer to finding what we want. However, I think we are close. Very close. I'm gonna go find more things to place in my pockets.
All right, we landed, and there was surely werewolf evidence, clearly. Then we get to town, where shark evidence, clearly. And then there's the spaceship goes dark. We can't call him. I got everything else figured out. I just can't figure out how those damn were-sharks got to the ship. Dang it. I knew it. Space were-sharks, the new enemy.
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us for part 1 of Stellar Chaos. To learn more about Stellar Chaos between now and our next episode, which is part 2 next week, next Tuesday, same time, same place, you can go to stellarchaos.com. You can also check it out. We've got some information about it on Nat21. And if you're a Patreon subscriber, you already know we already shared some awesome stuff with you about this game. Yeah, and like I said, we will be back next week for part 2. I can't wait. But in the meantime, we would like to remind you we have shows Monday through Friday. Monday through Thursday right now here on the channel. And be sure to check out all of our exciting adventures. But until next time, I am not your dungeon mistress with the mostest. I am Logan, and I have pockets full of candles. And this has been Net21 Adventures, because when a regular 20 just won't do, you need a Nat21. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great evening. Bye.